Hello, this is Joel Miller. Hey, thank you for joining us for another session with Freedom Life Financial Group and Security National Life. Today we're going to be talking about the presentation. Actually, this particular session may take you a few days to process through. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the different phases of the presentation, but you're going to have some homework as it relates to the presentation. So you can say homework because up to this point, you basically have been listening to the courses, and you've been hopefully taking notes, learning the presentation. This is going to be some assignment work. You're going to have to put in a little effort to make this happen, but this is a critical part of the training to prepare you for either working in a funeral home or actually getting leads and running those leads and being successful when you're going out and running those leads. So one of the things that we wanted to ensure for you and for us and for the families, because you are going out and you're helping the families, but we want to make sure that we as an organization are not going out and burning leads. We're not wasting money. We're not wasting resources. That's not good for you. It's not good for the family. It's not good for us. And so how do we do that? Having a strong presentation doesn't mean you're going to close, everyone. I mean, I've closed 70-80% of the people that I've talked to. I've been doing this for a while, but it doesn't mean that you can't close 50, 40%. You might be, 60, 70%. But we want to make sure that you're equipped to do that. One of the ways you're going to do that is by recording your presentation. And there's a lot of ways that we can do this. But one of the ways that we're going to try to do is partner you with someone else. That way, you can present to one another. Now, you're more than happy to present to someone in your home, and your family, your spouse, and record that. Because what we're going to do, we're going to ask that you record that and send that to us so that we can evaluate your presentation. We want to see, what you're doing. Are there some areas that you can actually develop on that you need to home in on and make sure it's a little bit sharper. So we definitely want you to record your presentation, and hopefully we can have someone that can partner with you to make that happen. And just one of the ways of recording your presentation is utilizing your computer. Your computer is already built to record it. You have the camera and everything is built in. You just need a platform to facilitate that. One of the platforms that we like to use is Zoom. It's relatively easy to use, and for you, you can actually go in and set up a free Zoom account. Just as long as your session is an hour or less, it's going to be free. So I love the way that they do. I just love good conceptualizations of marketing and getting people on the platform. A lot of times you give something away for free. It just really, it creates a boom and it drives people to you. They end up spending money over the long time, but in the beginning, it gets people to you because people love value. So, and if your session is going to run over an hour and you just want to keep the free version, you can actually stop the session and just start a new one, and and just go from there. So you're on for an hour, off for a couple of minutes, on for an hour, off for a couple of minutes. Not that you're going to be on Zoom all day. But it's a great way for you, if you're partnering with someone, you can set up a session between the two of you. One of you can present, then the other person can present. There's about 6 different areas where you need to focus on presenting. One of the reasons why we wanted to break it down, where you're just not having to do the whole entire presentation at one time, but you want to focus on certain parts. And you can even have cheat notes if you need to. But the purpose of this exercise is to make sure you understand the different elements of the presentation, why we do them, and why it's important to record yourself and make sure that you have a working knowledge of what that presentation looks like. You can use Zoom. I prefer that. I like that. Or you can, this is something that I found on Walmart, a little holder for your iPhone where you can just record yourself sitting at the table with a family member. And if you want to go that route and record yourself and send that to us so where we can actually review that. So, it's up to you, but we just want to make it as simple as possible. So your first recording, let's talk about your first recording. So if you've had the opportunity, you've been already listening to the presentation, you've been on the courses, you've been looking at the audio of the presentation. What we want to do is we want to break it down into manageable size pieces. So this is going to be your first recording. Your first recording is just going to introduce yourself. Hey, I'm John. Now I know, when you come into the house, understand this. This is going to be a little different because you're going to introduce yourself really when you walk in. You're not going to wait till you sit down at the table and say, I'm John. Oh, you weren't John when you walked in the door. So I get that. But introduce yourself, and just think about the warm up process, what that looks like. So that warm up could be anything. Me personally, I don't like to just come in and say, "Oh, that's a nice couch. Oh, I like those pictures. Oh, because to me, who does that? People don't really walk in your house, even if they're coming over dinner guests. They don't walk in and like, oh, look at that picture there. I was like, ooh, is that your granddaughter? That's not really what natural conversation. Now it might move to that later on, but that's not really where it starts out. So it might start off with, girl, traffic was so bad when I came, when I say girl, hey, traffic was, I'm just, okay, all right. Traffic was bad when I on the way over here, or, I saw an accident that was terrible. I was thinking, traffic has gotten so bad, just something that people can, relate to and gravitate to. Whether it's weather, or how hot it is, or just something that's real. Basically be real. It is hot out there. It's smoking hot. One of the things that I like to do, and often I'm able to get some good counsel, is I like to talk about something that I'm dealing with. For an example, one of the things I'm dealing with is a 20-year-old daughter who's a bit of a challenge, and so sometimes I might talk to a customer about that and actually get some good counsel on that, Or, when my son, he just turned 17, so he's at the age where he can actually date. When I say the age of date, I basically said, hey, listen, you can date at 17. But I would always ask people, hey, I got this son, he's 15, he's 16, what do you think about dating? When you let your child date? And, in that way, they're giving me counsel. I'm benefiting from it. They're giving the opportunity to share their knowledge and wisdom, which people love. It's a win-win. You're growing. This person at this house might have a better idea of that than this person at this house. But what it does is it creates genuine conversation, as opposed to saying, hey, listen, I like your yard. I like the daisies that you had up front. So you want to take a little bit of time. Once again, this shouldn't take all day when you're doing this, but you want to take a little bit of time to introduce yourself, talk about something, and engage. When you're partnering with someone, engage that person in genuine conversation, not rote, broke, fake conversation, but genuine conversation. And then you want to ask them for a drink of water. And after you have a little bit of banter, a little bit of talk, would it be all right if I have? Now, here's the thing: they may ask you first. Hey, can I get you a drink of water? Always accept. Don't start the relationship by, no, I don't want anything you have. Nothing. I don't trust you. I don't trust your water. I don't trust nothing about this house. No, accept the water. And so, yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I would love that. When they'll ask you, what do you want? Do you want water, juice? But if they start asking you, giving you different, selections, that means they like you. You want water, juice, root beer, red soda, they'll start giving you all stuff. Ooh, like, ooh, give me that pineapple grape juice you were talking about. And so, ask for a drink, they may give you water, they may give you something else. And then when they come back, tell them why you got into this business. Now, here's the thing. This is taking no more than 60 seconds. Now, here, I understand there's some people that are actually looking at this. The reason why you got in, you feel like it's worth 2 minutes. You're just going to just ignore the 60-second rule, and you're just going to go 2 minutes, 3 minutes of explaining why you got in this business because you think it's going to be so good. But I'm telling you, it's not. You need to leave it 60 seconds or under. For example, when I share with the family, one of the things I say is, listen, we lost a daughter, and, it was terrible. We went through the challenge of that. And the people that really served us and helped us through the process, when I look at that, I thought, man, that's something that I could do. I can actually come alongside family the way people came alongside me. And that's why I do this, so people will never have to go in on the worst day of their lives and make the most difficult decisions in their lives. Boom. That didn't even take 60 seconds. That probably took 25, 30 seconds. So, if you can do it with 30 seconds, it's even better. If you can do it in 60 seconds, that's great. Once you start going by 60 seconds, I mean, you're going to drag your whole presentation out. So, and you want it to be something, definitely you don't want why you got in the business. Well, I got in the business because I thought I could make a lot of money. And that's why I'm here talking to you, because you're going to be a part of that dream. No, that is not what you want to do. You want to give them something that, whether it's you lost an uncle, an aunt, a mother, a father, a sister, or a brother, you want to give them something where they can hang their hat on and say, wow, I'm so sorry that you went through that. That's okay, because I want to make sure that no one else has to go through exactly the same way what I had to go through on one of the worst days of my life. I hope that makes sense. So, right now, that's your first assignment. You're going to do your recording, your introduction, talk about current events, talk about something that you're dealing with, ask for that drink of water, and then tell them why you got into the business, no more than 60 seconds. You can turn it off now, and if you have that person, I would say you all dig in right there, and you all focus on that.